All right, everyone, welcome to Beyond Words. This is advanced tips and tricks for LAMP Words for Life. And we apologize on the get-go. We are having some technical challenges, and we can either see the device display or we can see John. And so John and I voted that we would see the device display. We're so glad you're here. And I'm always excited to be part of these webinars, but I usually know what's going to happen. I have an idea. And so I'm not only excited, but very curious today to learn from John and learn with all of you. I will be monitoring the chat window and also the Q&A window. So here's what I want you to do. If you have a device, feel free to get it out and work along with John, but we won't be able to stop and pause and have him repeat things. We're recording it, and this will be put on YouTube so that you can go back and watch it. I'll have it up tonight probably, and you will get an email with a link to it tomorrow. So with that said, I am going to hide myself and just sit back and learn with the rest of you.
Thanks, Stephanie. And I'm really excited to get to teach this. So I realize that some of you are going to be brand new and others are going to be people that really know a lot about using Words for Life and have been implementing it with individuals for years. So I can't leave you. So I have to start out really kind of basic and then keep going forward and then get more complicated as we move forward. And I guess it kind of guarantees that either you're going to be bored at the beginning or overwhelmed at the end. So the good news is everybody will hate the training before it's over. But I'm going to just jump right in. The first thing when you get any device, whether you've had a kid's device or you're just the first time you're getting on the device, the first thing, there's two things you need to know how to do at the very beginning. You need to know how to copy a vocabulary and you need how to save the vocabulary so that you don't lose it. And these instructions are on cheat sheets, but I'm just going to go through it one time so you can see it. So to copy a vocabulary, you start by hitting vocab, then you hit choose new vocab, and then you can see all the vocabularies that you have on your device. And I've got I have 4 customized ones. But if I wanted to copy, if I go to English, you'll see the LAMP one hit, the full and the transition. If I wanted to copy any one of these, once I'm in this screen, then I just go over here and I hit menu, and then I hit copy vocabulary. And it says, which one of these do you want to copy? Now notice you can copy your customized ones. So you can copy a child's vocabulary or an adult's vocabulary, or you can copy these ones that come from the factory. So if I copy this one hit one, and then I call it John, one hit, I'm just naming it something so I know what it is. If I call it John one hit and I hit save, then you'll see that the next time when I get done here, when I get done and get over here, it'll say John one hit. So if I touch it, I go to the John one hit vocabulary. Now I'm just going to edit something here. I'm just going to quickly edit this button. And just to make it quick, I'm going to drag it and drop. So I just swapped those buttons, which usually is something you don't want to have happen, but I just did it quickly so you can see it's a new page. So I dragged and dropped those 2 buttons in the edit mode. So this is now a kid's customized vocabulary. If I wanted to copy this kid's vocabulary, I would do the same steps. I would hit vocab, choose new. Don't worry about writing it down, but you can if you want. We'll give it to you in written instructions too on a cheat sheet. Then you hit menu, copy vocab. And now you'll see John one hit shows up. So you could hit John one hit, and then you could call it John one hit backup or something. So why would you want to do this? That's the big question I want you to know. The steps for doing it, you can watch the YouTube video again or watch this video when it's on YouTube. But I just want you to think why. The first reason you have to do it is you have to do it to get files that you can customize. These are locked from the factory. So that's one reason why you have to know how to copy vocabulary so that you can manipulate it. But I want you to see the second reason for doing it. Usually I'd ask you to give me the answer, but the reason you copy a kid's device, like this is John hit one hit. If his best friend gets in here and hits edit page, and starts moving things around and starts making crazy stuff. I see this on our Facebook group once a week, and they start just moving things around, and they'll say, just follow where they got them, put them back where they were. But when you get done doing all this, there's not a chance that you can figure out the combination to get that lock back to where those keys belong, where they belong. So you're all stressed out. So kid comes home from school and it looks like this. Well, you're not stressed because you went in there before he went to school or when he got his device and you made the backup. And so when you go to the backup, see how my eat is mixed? See how I made those are the two I moved to show you that was the backup. But now everything's back to the way it was. So the first trick is you have to know how to copy a vocabulary. And so I taught you how to do that and I copied it on the device. So I have an internal copy. But that's a little dangerous because sooner or later the kid's going to dunk this thing in the sink or something. So the next thing I want to teach you how to do is how to save a file somewhere, like on an email or maybe even on the iPad or AirDrop to another device. So these are the first two things you have to do before you want to start playing with a kid's device. You got to know how to copy the vocabulary and save the vocabulary after you make changes. And then we'll get into more fun. So how do you save a vocabulary? The first thing you have to do is hit vocab, choose new. Then you go over here to menu. And you can see you're not going to the upgrade store. You're not creating a new vocabulary. We already did the copy vocabulary. Then it says import, export. That's interesting. Let's try that one. So I go to import, export. And I want to export. So I want to export and share. So right there, the fourth one down says export and share. And it says, which one of those do you want to back up? So there's those files I showed you that I made. So if we do the backup one, and this gives you a chance to rename it. You don't have to do that. Just leave it to what it is. Say done. And look how cool this is. It says, where do you want to save this? Do you want to AirDrop it to another iPad? Do you want to send it in an email? Do you want to put it on Dropbox, or how do you want to share it? The one I kind of like, even though email is my favorite, or AirDrop. The nice thing about emailing this is if you email it to yourself or to another person, it stays, and of course it's saved on the email, and so you've got it backed up sort of on the cloud. So if you email this to yourself, of course this requires that you have access to email, so you have to have your device has to be able to be online. I'm just going to delete draft, so that'd be a negative of that. You can AirDrop it, but I want to show you one more thing I think is underused. I can save it to files on my iPad itself. So if I save it here, what's nice is if I ever want to get it back, I follow those same steps. I go to import, export. This time I'm not going to go to import, I'm going to export from files or import from files. And there's those files I have on my iPad. And all I do is touch them then. And then it says it imports it automatically. All right. I know I'm going a little fast. Let me slow down a little bit, back up. So, and again, what I really want you to know is why you do this, and that it has the potential to do it. And that if you watch the YouTube video a few times, you can figure it out. Or if we cut this up in pieces, Stephanie, what I'm going to recommend is we cut this into each piece that we did so they don't have to sit through the whole thing or find that spot. But if you're saying, how do I save a kid's device? This is how you can do it. You can AirDrop it, you can email it, or you can save it to your files. And I'm going to do it one more time just so you see, because I don't want kids to lose their devices anymore. All right, so you've got the device customized just the way you want it. You've added all the names. You've added all these fun things, and you don't want to lose that individual's vocabulary. You go to vocab, choose new. You go to menu. You go to import, export. You go to export and share. It says, which one do you want to export and share? You touch it. Then you hit done. And it says, where do you want to do it? Do you want to AirDrop, save it to an email, or save it to files? So that's all there is to it. So I'm not getting any feedback to see if you got it. So Stephanie, give me a few yeses if everybody feels good about copying a file, or give me a few no's before I move on.
We're getting a lot of yeses.
All right, perfect. Well, that is the very first, I have to get those out of the way. So you got the kind of boring out of the way. So back to the kid who shows up at school, comes home from school, and somebody hit edit page and they did this to you. They scrambled the deck. I see it every week on Facebook. Probably saw it today even. They scrambled the deck and then they say done. Then they run and get, then the kid gets away from the device as fast as he can. And the teacher walks over and looks at it. She starts crying. What am I going to do? Mom's going to kill me. I want to show you the trick. It's a reset back to the, you don't lose any customizations, but it resets the device back. Let me just get to a file that I want to use for doing this to the backup one. All right. So this is a file I've been playing with that I've customized a lot. It's a kid's vocabulary. When you hit feel, see, I did these, the Sasha and the bear, I changed those pictures. So you can see it's real customized.
Happy.
So where it usually says happy, I put a picture of Sasha being happy.
Happy.
So I've customized this device and I don't want to lose it. But sure enough, Billy gets a hold of it when no one's looking, and he even knows how to get around. You swear you have it on guided access and you have a passcode. Somehow Billy knows how to get in here. You don't know how he does it, but somehow he does it, and he scrambles the deck. He just gets in there, and then he quickly shuts down when you're getting near him. And then he points to you saying, you did it, not me. So what do? Well, everybody thinks that, you know, if I didn't back it up, I'm in trouble. But I want to show you the first trick. There is I call it the Trev Price trick. He's from Australia, and he posted this on Facebook, and I always copy and paste from the Trev Price solution. Anyway, he's a parent who I just adore that works with his son. All right, so all you have to do is reset the home page, and it will still know. See how field turned up but down here now?
Happy.
It'll still want to take those customizations, so you won't lose all your customizations, but it will reset the main page. So here's your first trick. You've messed up the device. How do you reset the home page? Here's how you do it. You hit menu, edit page, and now someone's going to try to tell you to try to scramble this deck back. I'm telling you, you can do a Rubik's Cube quicker than you can do that. Instead, you're going to hit menu, and you're going to hit import copy pages right there. Import copy pages, and you're going to say import another page. And you're going to want to get it from the factory one, because you want to make sure it's a good one. So right down here it says the LAMP WFL is full. I'm going to say I want one of the pages from that area. And the page you want is called home, and you can see that because it's named right there. So I type in the word home, and then I get the home page, and I say import that one. And it says that one already exists. You want to override it? Well, sure I do. I want to override it because I want it back cleaned. I want it back working good. Now I hit done, and look, everything's back where it's supposed to be, but all my customizations are still there. So when I get done, all my customizations still exist.
Happy.
But I got my deck re-scrambled. I might try that one more time because people seem to get this. This was, if the 100 people that are in this room will help teach other people, don't get upset when they think they scrambled the first page. The same trick is how you can share a page that you customize for one kid to another. Let me think of a way to do this. What I'll do is I'll copy my vocabulary one more time. I'll copy the full. So I'll go to the full vocabulary and I'll copy it. All right, so now I'm in a fresh version of full.
Happy.
You can see it's the regular one.
Happy.
All right. So, but what if I really like those? Well, let's do the scramble the deck one more time. Forgive me for going on down the second path before we finish scrambling the deck one more time. Once again, it could be anything. It isn't always that they scrambled the deck. Sometimes they just went in there. Sometimes they just went in there and deleted a button. Oh, they went into, I got to go in here one more time and copy quickly because I didn't actually do it when I got out of it before I meant to. All right, so now I got a full. All right, so here I am. Maybe somebody went in here and did edit page and they touched a button and they just did remove button from page. That's more likely to happen. And then they hit done, and now they freak out. How do I get this back? So again, what we're going to do is we're going to go get a clean home page and dump it on this screen so that we can all get it back the way we want it. So watch, this is your reset. Menu, edit page, menu again, which you're not used to doing. Then you do import copy page. You say import another page. And it says, where do you want to import it from? And you say from that one that was full, LAMP Words for Life full. And the page you want is the home page. Whoops, I just want the home page. Import, yes. It overrides it. And the button that was erased is suddenly back. All right, there's your reset the home screen. Now, back to that second thing. Sometimes you've customized a kid's device and you did a beautiful job making some book or an activity, and another kid would like to have those customizations. And you'd like to take that one page and dump it from one kid's device to another. Well, the first thing you have to do that is you have to copy the entire file, which we've already taught you how to do, or airdrop it, or email it, or put it on files. But somehow you have to get the file that has the vocabulary on the page on it that you want, you have to get on the same iPad. So I airdropped it, let's say, from one kid's device to another. And I already showed you how to airdrop, so we already talked about that. So here I am in the 3 file. And the 3 file, this is the one I just downloaded. This is Jimmy's vocabulary that has this. When I hit the feelings, I get this Ash. See how it's a real picture of Ash being sick there?
Sick.
I hit feel and crazy. And this is the difference between a sticker and a picture, which I'll show you later.
Crazy.
But anyway, that customized page is working really well with one of your kids in class, and you'd like to give it to another kid. So you would share this file to the new kid's device. So we did the airdrop. Remember how we did that? We did vocab, choose new, we went in here to menu, we did import export, we did export and share. We picked the one that has the nice page on it that we want. We said done. And then we said airdrop, and that dumped it over to this second iPad. All right, so that's what we did. Now we're back to the kid's device, and they hit feel, and look, it doesn't have those pictures of Ash and the bear that are so motivating to the child. So you say, but I just loaded Jimmy's file onto this device, so I should be able to steal that page and put it here. How do I steal that page of feelings off one page and dump it to the other? Here's how you do it. I hit feel one time, so I see the name of the page, which is going to be easy because it's going to be called feel. Then I hit menu, edit page, surprise, surprise, menu, import, export pages, import copy pages. So import copy pages, I touch that. I put import another page. And it says, where do you want to copy it from? And you have to remember which one this is the other kid's file that has the good stuff on it. So you hit that other kid's file, and you see you're on the feel page. That's why I had you touch it one time. See right there, that tells you which page over here you want to steal from this other kid's device. So you say, I want the feel one. You say, steal that page, which remember, that's the feel from the other kid's device. And you say, import it. It says that one already exists. You want to override it? Yes. So now it's taking out the original page, and look, it dumped in that customized page from another kid's device. And you say done now. And now when I hit feel, I have the customized pages.
Happy.
All right. That's how you reset a page and how you steal a page from another person. Some kid's done a lot of work and program stuff and you want it. That's how you get it. Stephanie, give me because I get no feedback. I'm staring at my screen. Give me a slow down or speed up or okay, one of those 3.
No, I think you're doing good. And we've had a few questions come in that I think I'm able to answer. Tanya just asked a question you could answer real quick. After I copy the page onto the new student's device, can I delete the original file I put on it? I would be
Yeah.
concerned about personal info that might be on another page in the greater
Just
file.
just genius, because it really is an invasion of that kid's privacy that you stole the file from. I thought about how you could get away without doing that. You could copy the file. There's one way to do it without giving the kid access to anything but that file, just so you think through this. If on this first kid's device, the kid who has this on it, if I wanted to give somebody that page and nothing else, so they couldn't see anything, any other of my customizations, what you would do is you'd go in and you'd copy the full. So you'd copy a full version and you'd call it, so I'll copy full and I'll call it, I have glasses that don't give me the ability to see what I'm seeing anymore. All right, so let's go in here one more time. Vocab, choose new, and I want to copy the full vocabulary. Now this is just the one that came from the factory. And I'm going to call it full, and I'm going to say privacy. This is going to be created. So my full privacy is now where I'm going to dump that page. So if I go to full privacy now, and now in full privacy, I do hit the field one time to see the page. And now I go to edit page, import copy, import another page. Now I go to the kid's device, the one that has everything on it that we don't, but we only want this one page. We hit full. Oops. We're in that page now. We do the word feel. And import that. Say yes. Yes. Now what we're going to do is now take this file, which the only thing it has different is this one page, share it to the kid's device and steal this page. I know that's kind of confusing, but there is a way to get around it where you don't actually give access to the entire vocabulary of another child or another individual. I could give you access to just that page. I see a great tool in the future where you just import copy a page, steal a page from one, but this is a way around it. It's not too bad once you've done it a few times. I hope that makes sense. Basically, you create a full version that you copy it to, then share that file instead of the kids holding it.
John, I do have a question that I've answered in the chat window, but I maybe didn't do a good job and it gets hidden. But the question is, how does the recipient of an exported file sent in email import that vocabulary to their own iPad? Maybe they don't have email on their iPad, or how do you problem solve through that?
Well, they'd have to have email on some iPad that they can then. So if they don't have email on their iPad, they'd have to have somebody they know, but you can do it from a phone. So I can email it from, or I can airdrop it from I can airdrop it from here to here, and then I could airdrop it from here to the next device. So you'd use airdrop. Now, if they email it, you can still email it to their phone, save it from the phone file, then airdrop it back to the device. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's a way around it. If you have a device that doesn't have email, and you're using the email as a backup form, you're going to need a way to email it to a device that does have the ability to airdrop it to your device. So my thinking is the phone would be the most logical solution. You'd email it to yourself and then airdrop it to the device.
And one more question, John. I think, and this is coming from someone from Australia who has a rugged dedicated device. Can you speak a little bit about?
No, I cannot.
You're doing this
On an accent, you would do it through a jump drive. Easiest way is just do it on a USB jump drive. I don't know anything about the rugged, to tell you the truth. So Leanna could get with them afterwards and help them through that.
Or reach out to your Australian consultants. I'll try to find that.
Yes. Okay. All right. I hope everyone's feeling good about so far. What you've learned to do is copy vocabulary. You've learned how to save a vocabulary, and you've learned how to reset the main page, and you've learned how to steal a page from one kid's device or from your device where you've done something that you think is clever and you want to import that page to another person. You now know how to do that. All right, that's a good start. Now, the next thing I want to teach you about is everybody probably knows about Vocabulary Builder. And if you don't, I want you to learn about it. Vocabulary Builder is one of the coolest tools. Vocabulary Builder lets you go in here and say menu, Vocabulary Builder, and then it lets you have to remember to turn it on. And then you can say disable all right there. And then you can say, but I want to work on the word eat. And I want to give the kid 3 or 4 turns to do it with just that one showing.
Eat.
Don't worry about my plus S.
Eat.
So you got the eat working there. I could get rid of that plus S if that ever happens to you. I go to Vocabulary Builder. I go to Visible Actions and tell my plus S I didn't want you to be working. Okay, so I'm going to watch this quickly. I'm going to turn Vocabulary Builder off and say done. And now the child crashes. Then I can do Vocabulary Builder back on, and it remembers where you were last. So there's a quick way to toggle in and out. Now this was my 2023 tip of the year, and I can't tell you how much I want to make it 24's tip of the year too. But when you have 2 devices, I want you to leave their device on. I want you to just consider not using Vocabulary Builder ever on their device, leaving their device just like it is, whatever fullest vocabulary they can handle is where you leave their device. And instead of using Vocabulary Builder, you teach all their staff and teachers about a thing called Word Finder. So when you see that the child wants to say the word eat, and he's all excited, he sees the cookies and he's jumping up and down, and you say, you want to say eat? And he nods his head, let me say eat, let me say eat. And you try to give him a show, and it's down in here, and you're doing the least amount of prompting possible, and it's not working. He just can't find it. He's slapping at it, get excited. Instead, you're going to go over here and you're going to say spell mode, and you're going to say Word Finder, and you're going to spell the word eat. It's not that you don't know where it is, but you're just using this tool. You're going to say find. And then when it shows up like this, you're going to take your finger and touch it. What it does is so beautifully, it dims everything else. It makes this one stick out nice and bright. And then when you hit it, it dims everything. It makes this one stick out nice and bright. So that way they can stay at their full vocabulary, ready to try again. So let's do that again. And of all the things that you're going to learn tonight, if this is new to you, I want you to teach all the teachers, staff, bus driver, brothers, sisters, cousins, grandparents about Word Finder. So you teach the staff or the team to go to spell mode, spell the word drink, hit Word Finder first. You go to spell mode, you got to hit this purple button that says Word Finder, spell whatever word you're looking for, hit find, then they have to remember to touch it, and it lights up this one time for them to hit it.
Drink.
So now I'm going to give you a hierarchy. Vocabulary Builder, where you went into here and did Vocabulary Builder, and you turned it on, and you added drink. That'll give me drink and eat. That is a really hard, you're invading a lot on their ability to say what they want to say, because now they can't say what they want to say. You limit it down to this too. Now there's times when this is appropriate, but so you got to be very cautious of this. So instead of going in there and doing that, which would be much less restrictive, is you're going to go in there and leave Vocabulary Builder, or leave their device with all the words showing, and use that Word Finder tool. But if Word Finder doesn't work, when you do the Word Finder tool, you might have to use Vocabulary Builder. But here's that 2023 tip of the year. I want you to slide your device that has the Vocabulary Builder on it over the top of their device. And I want you to line them right on top of each other. And so right now I'd have a second iPad. I'm sorry, I don't have one in front of me. I would slide a second iPad in here with that device would have Vocabulary Builder on it. So Vocabulary Builder is used on the second device, the therapist device, the teacher's device, the classroom device, but it's not used on their device. And you slide it over the top and let them have access to it. Now, so far what you've learned is you learned how to use Vocabulary Builder. You've gone to Vocabulary Builder. and you've done turned it on, you said disable all, you said now give me the word pizza. Touch it, and if you wanted to do another word, you'd hit the X and you'd do the word drink. Then you could hit the next word, hit the little X, and you hit the next word, you'd hit the word beer. So now you'd hit done, and they would have the eat, or they'd have the pizza,
Pizza.
and they'd have the beer.
Beer.
All right, so that's vocabulary builder, and you learned how to toggle it off and on, and I've encouraged you to use the device over the top. Sometimes when you've used, and remember, vocabulary builder has this toggle, which lets it turn off real quick. After a few hits, go back to everything showing. If when you bring everything back showing, they crash, then go back to your word finder and see what happens when you use word finder. See if pizza works now when you do find. Now, if this works, great. Then you can try it a few more times. If that does work, then I got one more little thing I want you to think about doing. What if this button, the sequence you've been working on, what if you said to that button, what if you said edit this button, and you said, I want that one button just for a few hits. What if you told the body color to be red? So instead of body color white, you said red 6. Then you said save, and you said done. I'll bet you now when Jimmy sees that red one sticking there, he goes and gets it easier. Now we're going to go ahead and make the Italian red. Edit this page. We're going to make this button red also, giving him the second clue which one he's supposed to chase. We're going to say body color. We're going to tell that one to be bright red. Save and done. Now when he sees that one sticking out, sees that one sticking out, and now you can make the pizza red if you wanted to, but I think pizza is going to be pretty rewarding.
Pizza.
Okay, so now we've added how to change a key's color. Now, I actually find it easiest if I had done this with 3 or 4 keys in therapy where I'd changed their colors. I actually find it easiest just to reset the home page like I taught you earlier to get them all back to white, but it wouldn't change them. You'd have to still go back and change these. Okay, so that's sort of a hierarchy from using spell mode, which is my favorite, to use word finder, to vocabulary builder, to color coding a key to make it stick out. Oh, what the heck, you're a fun group. We'll do one more little trick that sometimes you might want to try. Sometimes right after this, what I would do is I'd go in here and say edit page, and I would hit this button, and I would edit the buttons around it, and I would tell those buttons to where it says visible, I would hide those buttons. I'm not erasing them. I'm going in here to all the buttons around it, and I'm saying, I want you to disappear for a few hits. See what I'm doing here? I'm saying edit this button. I'm going all around it. And that might even be enough for you to try. So now you're getting an idea what the problem is they can't see it in the field. If I would kept going around here. Now in this situation where I've done all this stuff, but I want to get it back to the original, this I believe would be quicker now to do edit page, menu, import copy, import another page, go to lamp full, and import home again. Whoops, not home parts. Import, yes. And boom, I'm back. See, I got rid of all that color coding, got all my keys back that quick. All right, so I guess kind of going back to the old trick we taught you a little bit ago. Okay, so we've learned how to use word finder. We've learned how to use vocabulary builder. We've learned how to color code a key. We learned how to hide keys to make them visible, or now to get them back. If you would have done this where you did edit page, and you would have done edit this button, and you'd have gone in here and you'd have made this visible, done this where you say to turn that off, and it goes gray on you. It goes like that, it goes off. It's hidden from the child. Then to get it back, you do the same steps. Menu, edit page, touch just that one, edit this button, scroll down to where it says visible and turn that back on. Save, done. Okay, now back to vocabulary builder. I really am a big fan of vocabulary builder. It is also one of the things it's the most powerful feature in the world. It also has probably caused the most harm because you want to use it for short spurts, giving the child the ability to have fun and say what they want to say, and then they have to be back to all their words. But I want to show you that you can save a list of words. So let's say I had a child who wanted to work on me happy, you happy. So me crazy.
Crazy.
So if I go in here to menu and I go to vocabulary builder, and this time I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to hit disable all to get rid of the words I had in there. I'm going to turn it on. This time I'm going to go to where it says quick edit. And this time now I can do this slightly different. I'm going to hit the word me and I'm going to say add that word. I'm going to say you, add that word. Then I'm going to say the word happy, add the word crazy, add the word mad, add the word. And I'm going to hit save. There's one more thing though. Before I go any farther, I want to use this again another day. So after I hit save, I got to remember to write. This is real important. You see the one that says save list and file list. These two are important. If I hit save list, then lets me name this list so I can use it again. And I'm going to call this one happy me you. Save. Okay, done. Now I got my feelings.
Mad.
Now forgive me, these are duplicated so I can show you something that would never happen in Words for Life. We would never have buttons in two locations. This is me showing the difference between this is importing a picture. This is importing the same picture, but doing it as a sticker, which I'll get to later. And the sticker, see how much bigger and better it is. So that would never happen.
Crazy.
Might as well review that. If you learn that this button plus this button says crazy, that plus that says crazy, that plus that says crazy, that plus that says crazy. When I touch my finger and do that, your brain says crazy because that motor plan, because speech and gesture share a common neural structure. And when I say the word crazy, even though you don't know it, you're practicing that sequence.
Crazy.
So I can't have crazy in two locations. So just be really pure with me on that. So forgive me that those showed up the way they did. But right now you could say me.
Me. Mad.
And I could say you.
You. Happy.
All right. So I can play the little game and I like it. Then I would, of course, turn off vocabulary builder to see how they do with vocabulary builder off. And they crash. Whoops, my little finger to slide over there. Well, come on, John. Well, that's awful weird. I know, just remember my Parkinson's fingers aren't working good. All right, so now I'm off, I got it off and I'm back with everything showing. And I realized, you know what, that kid really liked playing the game, but he really wants to play it with mom and dad more than me. So let's go back to that list, go to vocabulary builder, go to file list, load happy me, you, load that list. Before we go any farther, let's add the word mom. And then add the word dad. When there's just two, I probably don't do the quick edit. Add the word dad. But this is the part of why I got to this spot. If you just do, you have to remember to do save list and rename it or override it. But you have to save it every time you make a change. So what I really wanted you to see was that you have to rename it when you make a change. If you don't, when you pull it back up, what's going to happen is you would lose your changes. So now I'm done. So now when I go to my vocabulary builder, I swipe it to on. I go to my file list. I do mom, dad feeling. I load that file. I say done. Now I still have the me and the you because I wanted that. Now I get the mom.
Mom.
And I get the head.
Mad.
I get the dad.
Dad. Crazy.
All right. What if this was something that you created for one kid and you really liked it, and you have 3 iPads in your home, and you want the kids to play with each other with the other iPads so they can model the device. So you want this vocabulary builder file on the second iPad. Here's how you share it. You go to vocabulary builder. You go to file list, same steps. You go to the mom, dad feelings. And look right here, you've been doing load file. Right there, it says share file. You hit share. It says, how do you want to do it? AirDrop it, email it, save it to files. And AirDrop's my favorite. You'd hit AirDrop. It would look for the people. You would touch it and it would import it. Now, if you don't know how to AirDrop, you might want to go to YouTube and say, how do you learn to use AirDrop? Because you have to turn it on your iPads and your iPhones. You have to say, accept AirDrop from everybody for 10 minutes or accept from just my contacts. But you have to learn a little bit about AirDrop if you don't know how to use AirDrop. It's in your iPad settings. Just go to AirDrop and turn on settings for everyone for 10 minutes is what the option will be. Okay. All right, Stephanie, give them another check for how they're feeling, good or bad. And
Well, we have a couple of questions.
all right.
I'm not sure if you were going into how to change the contrast in the system settings or not. That was a question if there was a way to do that. And if you wanted to show that, I also have a link to the high contrast user area that you and Cindy made that I could share with the group. If you wanted to
Yeah, I'd
demonstrate.
rather, if they're saying high contrast, I'd rather wait on that because there's some new settings came out in the iOS.
Okay,
Accessibilities came out with some new features and things, and I think there's so many ways to do that. It's almost a different workshop. But if they'll email you or me directly, we'll give them your email. We'll get that addressed.
yes.
It would open up a Pandora's box. That would be the rest of the session.
I know. Well, and there's another really great question that you just keep going because it's a
Okay.
long one.
All right. Well, I want to get you to what I really came here for. So I walked you down this whole path because there was something I'm most excited about. And it has to do with, you have to know how to do, I got one more thing to teach you first, then I'm gonna take everything I've taught you and hopefully it'll all come together. All right, so we all know that you have to be able to customize a kid's device. So, and that we made this one on purpose for names. So when you hit name, you can program names. See how you write names on an envelope, it's completely empty. And of course, I was bad in school, so I'm Big Bad John. So name plus bad is John. So this is how you store a message. I hit the mine one time because you have to see the blank spot you want to program. Now that I can see where that bad was, I hit menu, edit page. It then says, which one of these blank ones do you want to say? I want it right there. As I touch the corner button where it says blank, and now it says create a new button. So I hit create a new button. I do the very first thing, capital J O-H-N. If I wanted to fix the pronunciation, I could right here. I could put in pronunciation right there, but John's going to be okay. I wish I was Don Johnston, but I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say select image. After I select image, I'm going to say search. I'm going to type in the word man. Search for all the men in there. And this guy is really attractive. This gray hair, double chin. That guy is extremely attractive. That's what people like. I hit save and I hit done. So right now
John.
I have.
I like John.
All right, so I like John. Okay, now that's how you store a message. So I'll just do one more. Not yet. All right, let me go back to. I'll go back there just a second. Okay, so let me show you that right now I'm in the full vocabulary. Everybody sees that I'm in full.
Pizza.
So how many of you know a kid who only eats 3 foods? They only eat pizza, chips, and crackers. And yet they got to go 3 deep to say pizza.
Pizza.
We never intended on that. One of the best things about Words for Life is all the empty spaces. Remember when I hit mine, I said it was completely empty for names. When I hit go, look at all that empty space where you stored all the places you want to go. Sure, we got the pool, because everybody, you got to be careful you don't do the little thing in the pool. But you got your school, because we look up to the school. People go to school get looked up to. But you got go school.
School.
That's fine. But look, there's going to be a lot of places like Sonic or Whataburger or whatever that I'm not going to know where they all are. So we needed to give you real estate to program those. So All right, so long story short about this programming, let me do one more. I'll hit feel, and I already customized these, so I guess I already can't do that. Let me think now. I want to do one more thing. Let's just do go, and we'll do Wendy's. Go, you hit menu, you hit edit page. You think about Wendy's. I go down here where eat was. I think about eat was right there. I hit create a new button, and I do Wendy's. I hit save. I realize, whoops, I should have done a picture there. I edit this button. I go down here. When I go to import an image or select an image, I get those generic ones. There's nothing for Wendy's in there now. So I do hamburger, H-A-M, and I do search. And I get this, but you know what? It just doesn't feel like Wendy's. I mean, it looks like a hamburger. I know Wendy's is the hamburger. So what if I wanted to import a picture of Wendy's instead? So what I want you to know is that what you could do is you could say that might be good enough, and most kids won't care.
Wendy's.
But if you really want to go in here, of course, you could go to your search. You could go to a search. You could go in here and you could say, search for Wendy's. Oh, it's giving me all the Wendy's. I'll just do images. Images of Wendy's. All right, now that looks a little better. I kind of like this one myself. I touch it, and I'm just going to hold it. That one may not let me do it for some reason. Should let me, there we go. Touch and hold it the right way and just say save to photos. Save to photos. Now, I'm gonna try one more thing. Once I get there and touch it, I'm gonna see if it's gonna let me, see if it lets me do a sticker, turn it into a sticker. Well, let's try this one instead. That one seems to give me trouble. I'm gonna hold this down, and I'm gonna say save to photos. All right, now back to words for life first. Let's go to photos first. When I go to photos, I get to the end of these photos, I'm gonna have the Wendy's girl. Actually, sorry, I was playing with this today, doing Sasha the bear too much, doing emotions. Sasha and the Razorback stuff. There it is. All right, watch this. If I take my finger and hold this down, you'll see that little flicker go. You'll see this little like lightning bolt. And then that allows you to say share again, and then share that to your photos. Save image. And what that does is it turn this into a sticker, and I'll show you the difference here in a second. So I just made a sticker out of Wendy's. It grabbed her face and grabs that part and pulls it out of there. All right, so now it's saved in my files. I go back to LAMP. I go back to my Go. I got that Wendy's, and I really want that to look like a picture of Wendy. So now I do menu, edit page. I touch my symbol, edit this button. Now when I do, instead of doing select image, I could clear the image. I just have the word Wendy's. Look there, it says import image. Hit import image. It wants to go to my camera, which I could take a picture of something off the internet or something. But if I go to my image library, there's Wendy's right there. And I'm going to pick that one. I'm going to say use. I'm going to say done. Save. Now, I just went to YouTube, went to Google, did Wendy's, did the image, and now I have a nice picture of Wendy's.
Wendy's.
Okay. Slight difference between a sticker, and again, the only trick to a sticker is when you can do it from your own camera roll. When you're in a photo, when you're looking at your photos, and you take your finger and hold it down, you'll see it'll, sometimes it doesn't work on all of them. You'll see it'll turn, someone will create a sticker, and there it is. When it creates that sticker, share that sticker to your, save that image. That image will end up, most of the time, that picture will end up being, that one wouldn't have been as good, but most of the time they're better. They end up being a better picture that you can use, so use it as a sticker. Okay, now back to what I really want to talk to you about. And that is that children and adults don't actually fit those of you that I didn't do a good job because it take a few hours to explain it, but there's a vocabulary called the one-hit vocabulary, which is one hit and you get a word. You touch it, it says eat. You touch it, it says sleep.
Sleep.
The only exception is the mom and dad are sequenced.
Mom.
So you can say,
I like. Mom.
that's the one-hit vocabulary. Then there's the transition vocabulary, which is the 204 words that occur most in speech. Now, when you touch something, you have to keep moving. It doesn't say eat anymore. You extend, you chain forward the motor movement. Eat is still here, but you have to move forward to finish it.
Eat.
Now, the best part about the transition level is that the words are spaced apart. There's this space between them, making the motor plans more unique.
Hungry.
And it's based on research, the 204 words that occur most in speech. Then there's the full vocabulary, which is a little over 5,000 words. So now you have conjugation where you do eating, and then drinking,
Drinking.
and then you got sleeping. So now you got
Sleeping.
thousands of words. Okay, I slaughtered that, but that's one hit transition and full. And what I want you to learn is that children are not on some stage that they don't fit on that box. They don't fit in our box of one hit transition or full. Many kids need some words at one hit, some words at transition, but they need lots of foods, they need lots of toys, they need lots of TV shows, they need lots of shapes, they need lots of Disney characters. So I want you to know that you don't have to put a kid on one hit transition or full. We have something called LAMP 1, 2, 3. And I've actually taught you everything you know how to do this, but before I do that, I got to show you that right now I'm in the full vocabulary. You know that because I'm getting all those foods.
Pizza.
When you download Words for Life now and you update your software, the transition level vocabulary builder list comes pre-stored. So when I hit menu, vocabulary builder, I go to my file list, you may not have noticed this. If you haven't updated your device, it doesn't show up. But there's a little padlocked one that says LAMP Words for Life transition. When I touch it and load that file, and I say done, it makes it look like I'm in transition. Whoops. Well, the thing that everybody makes the same mistake I just made. When you go to vocabulary builder, the hardest thing to remember is to turn it on. Then you go to your file list, load transition. Now, when you say done, what you just did is you were in with 5,000 words were in there, but you just said the 204 words that are most frequently occurring in literacy and in speech, make those words only show up. So now when I hit drink, just water,
Water.
and drink show
Drink.
up. And when I hit eat, only eat, ate, or hungry show up.
Hungry.
But look, when I hit drink, there's no milk. But the only thing
Juice.
your child drinks is milk. Well, the beautiful part is now you can go to vocabulary builder. Since you're already on the full level, you can spell the word milk, touch it, say done, and the next time you hit drink, milk's going to show up.
Milk.
So you were on the transition level. You were on the full level. We loaded transition. It looks like you're in transition, but really you're in full. So if your kid loves pizza, all you have to do is go to vocabulary builder, spell the word pizza, touch it, hit done, and the next time you hit the apple, Italian's going to show up and pizza's going to show up. So now you're on. So I got one. This plus S is kind of a little funny thing. It's a visible action that needs to show up. So under vocabulary builder, you have to go to visible actions. You have to tell that plus S to show up. That one's a kind of a mistake. Okay. All right. Why not hurt your heads just a little more? Let me see how we're doing for time. This is going to hurt your heads, and this is the last thing I can do. You don't have to be on one hit transition or full, because we have a file I can either teach you, give to you, or I can email it to you, or I can teach you how to do it, which I'm going to try in this last few minutes. It looks like I'm on one hit. Look.
I like your stop.
So it looks just like one hit because it is one hit. But what if you have a kid who loves pizza and he loves beer? So when I hit drink,
Drink.
what if I wanted this to give him the option to say beer?
Drink.
Here's how you do it. You go in here and you say menu, edit page, and you tell this button, you say, yeah, I see that your label is drink, and you say drink, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, and it says speech message, which is why it says drink, is because that says speech message. You say, don't do that anymore. Don't speak that message. So you touch right there, and you say, instead of doing that, I want you to visit. It's not hard to remember which page to visit because they're the same as the core word. I want you to visit drink. So when you see it say drink, I say, I want you to visit drink. See how that says visit drink? Before it said speech message. And I hit save and done. Now when I hit drink, all my stuff shows up because my vocabulary builder needs to be turned on. Now I have my beer.
Beer.
So now if I go in here, now and I say vocabulary builder, I switched files. So that's why you have to understand I switched and I do the load transition. It looks like I'm doing this again because I switched to a new file. And I say done. Now when I hit drink,
Juice.
remember, for whatever reason, every single time I've done it 3,000 years later, I forget to turn it on. Don't ask me why. Now you see it.
Juice.
But it looks like you're in one hit.
I want juice.
But your kid wants beer. So you go to vocabulary builder and you tell it, add beer. Now you hit done. You'd want to do file save again. And now when you hit drink, beer shows up.
Beer.
So it looks like you're in one hit, but some keys are on transition.
Beer.
And words that are on full can be on hit, or you could have even a whole button be on completely on the full vocabulary.
Eat.
Depending on, so now you have the ability to be on one hit, transition, or full based on the passion of that child's desire to have that word, or their passion to say the word, or their interests. All right, that probably slaughtered it. Let me do one more quickly. To take this one back to one hit,
Juice.
all I'm going to do is tell that button,
Juice.
instead of visiting drink, speech message. So this button now is at the navigation mode.
Juice.
What I'm going to tell it to do instead is I'm going to edit that page, edit this button. Drink is there, the drink's there, that's all good. But at the very bottom, it says visit drink. I say, don't do that anymore. What I want you to do instead is I want you to speech the message. So I hit speech message, it changes, I say save, I say done. Now this says drink.
Drink.
So you change any key to the transition level or the full level just by changing it from visit to transition, or excuse me, to visit to speech message. If it's speech message, it's one hit.
Stop.
If it says visit, the name of that button, if it says visit stop, visit go, visit eat, it would then be on the full level. With vocabulary builder on, it reduces what you're seeing. Okay, I know that's confusing, but trust me, that lets you set a device to the exact level for each kid and lets you add words throughout the years and never have to be on a new system because you can start at cause and effect and have the projection that they're going to go to college or whatever level they want to go to. All right, Stephanie, how are they feeling about questions?
People are thirsty and excited and overwhelmed and excited.
I told you they'd hate it. I wanted everybody to hate it before it was over. So I can't thank you enough for giving me the hour. It really is, there's so much to learn, and don't be overwhelmed by the fact that I crammed so much in 1 hour. I hope you can watch the video again, and we can do this slowly and with one. We have videos on how to do almost everything we showed you today. But the main thing is you get the understanding of why you would do some of these things, and then that you know you can use a resource, your local PRC consultant, or use us, or we'll send you a YouTube video, or you can watch this video again, watch it slowly, and then of course you'll have our contact information to reach us for questions too.